What is the average cost of Medicare supplement plans in Texas? That's what I'm going to discuss in today's video, so please stay tuned. My name is Jamie from meetjamie.com. I'm a licensed insurance agent. I help people all over the country understand how the Medicare program works, as well as connect them with the coverage that fits their needs. Best of all, my services are free, so if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below or reach out to me through my website, meetjamie.com. So let's talk about Medicare supplement rates in Texas. Again, these are specific to the state of Texas, so if you're in a different state and happen to catch this video and you'd like a custom quote for where you live, again, best way to get in touch with me is there through my website. I'd like to do a couple reminders in videos like this of the cost of Medicare, specifically in 2025. So most people in 2025 do not have a monthly premium for Part A, but there is a deductible. So if you have traditional or original Medicare and you're admitted to the hospital, in 2025 you're going to have a deductible of $1,676. As you can see, that went up a little bit from last year, which was $1,632. The average person in 2025 will pay $185 a month for Part B. Last year that was $174.70. Also, we can see the Part B deductible went up from $240 to $257. Let's talk just for a couple minutes about the different Medicare supplements. So if you've watched other videos of mine, or maybe you've checked out the Medicare and You handbook, you most likely have seen this Medigap comparison chart. For years and years, Plan F was known as the most popular Medicare supplement plan. As you can see here on the screen, it filled almost all of the gaps of original Medicare. Unfortunately, there was a rule change in 2020, and people who were eligible for Medicare after January of 2020 could no longer purchase Plan F as a policy. So many beneficiaries gravitated to the plan right to the right of that, which is just Plan G. Now, as you can see, the main difference between Plan F and Plan G is that with Plan G, you have to pay that Part B deductible out of pocket. With Plan F, it was just included in your monthly Medigap premium. When you think about that from a math standpoint, Plan F and Plan G, typically Plan F was more expensive. So some people that I've spoken to say, hey, it's kind of a wash. You're paying a lower premium on Plan G than Plan F, and then you just pay that $257 out of pocket. And that's a valid point. The other thing I'll draw your attention to then that is very popular is Plan N. As you can see here, Plan N is very similar to Plan G and Plan F. The main difference being the other gap is the Part B excess charges. In certain states that's not relevant, but even in the states that it is pretty unusual that a provider will be able to charge that, and you can always check that ahead of time. So obviously there is one other change that's noted here with these asterisks under Part B coinsurance and copayment. What that is for is on Plan N. If you choose Plan N as opposed to say Plan G, there is a $20 copayment at the doctor and $50 copayment at the emergency room. So again, that's going to help lower the monthly premium. So what you have to do is you have to weigh the difference between the premium for Plan G and the premium for Plan N and how many times you potentially would go to the doctor or emergency room. Obviously, we can't predict the future. That can be somewhat difficult. But the other thing you want to keep in mind is that when you choose a Medicare supplement plan, particularly at the beginning, in many ways you are locking in that coverage in a way that you won't lose that coverage unless you cancel the policy or quit paying. A lot of people call me and they'll say, well, could I start with like the plan N and then go to the plan G? Well, um, the insurance companies have requirements around what's called guaranteed issue. And if you don't have guaranteed issue rights for a Medicare supplement, and the next time you go to apply for a supplement plan, let's say you start with plan N and you have it for a year or two, and then you decide, hey, I want to upgrade, I'm starting to go to the doctor more, I want to do plan G. Well, at that point, if you don't have guarantee issue rights on that new Medicare supplement policy, you're going to have to qualify that at that application medically. So you give them permission to look at your health history, contact your doctors, any specialists you see. You have to tell them the medications that you take. And so even though logically it would make sense to think in terms of starting with a lower coverage on a Medigap plan and then moving up, that's the one caveat you have to keep in mind, is that in the future you may have to qualify medically for that policy. So just something to keep in mind. Also, I will just mention you do have what's called a Medigap open enrollment on your Medicare supplement, and that's 6 months starting the month you take Part B. And that's a window that can close, and once it does in the future, you'll most likely have to qualify for that plan medically. Okay, so now I'm going to share a rate comparison. Keep in mind, this is a sample rate for a 65-year-old female non-tobacco user in Texas. So right now, I just ran this quote today for a non-tobacco using 65-year-old female. Plan G is going to start right around $102 a month. Plan N you can get as low as $76 a month, and then I also included just a quote for the high deductible Plan G. High deductible Plan G, the difference between that and regular G is that you have a deductible that you have to meet before the plan kicks in and begins to cover your expenses. So as you can see here right off the bat, you're looking at roughly a $25 difference between Plan G and Plan N. I've seen states where those numbers are a little wider apart, and because the Plan G is that much more expensive than Plan N, a lot of people say, well, it makes sense to maybe just do the Plan N, whereas this one's pretty close actually. So definitely have to weigh your options. Again, I always just want to reiterate, what you start with, you're locking in, and in the future you may not be able to change because of health reasons. That's all that I have for you in today's video. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and if you have questions about Medicare, feel free to leave in the comments below. I look forward to hearing from you and seeing you in the next video. Have a great day.